I always thought I was ordinary, not boring, just normal in the way millions of people were normal. I lived in the city, attended a public university while juggling part-time work, worried about exams, deadlines, and whether my bank balance would survive the week. I played baseball with friends on weekends, scraped my knuckles, laughed too loud, dreamed small dreams. I had no idea that my blood was a lie. That day on the baseball field, the air had been heavy with summer heat and competition. We were losing, badly. My teammates were exhausted. Frustration etched into every movement. When the coach shouted that we needed a miracle, something inside my chest answered. It started as warmth, then it became fire. I swung the bat harder than I ever had before, harder than any human should have been able to. The crack echoed across the field like a gunshot. The ball didn't just fly, it vanished, tearing through the air with impossible speed. The crowd went silent. Pain followed. My vision blurred as my blood boiled, my bones screaming as if they were being pulled apart from the inside. I dropped to my knees, gasping, my hands shaking as veins glowed faintly beneath my skin. Power surged through me, raw, violent, hungry. I heard someone scream. I looked up. Everyone was staring at me, not with awe, with fear. They backed away slowly, as if I were something feral that might lunge. Phones dropped. Someone whispered the word monster. Before I could speak, before I could even understand what was happening, men in dark suits surrounded the field. They moved too fast, too precisely. One of them grabbed my arm, pain flaring as metal cuffs snapped around my wrists. Subject confirmed. He said into an earpiece. Blood signature awakened. I struggled. What are you doing? Let go of me. A needle pierced my neck. The world went black. I woke up in a place that shouldn't exist. Stone walls rose around me, carved with glowing runes that hummed softly. The air smelled different, sharp, metallic, alive. My cuffs were gone, replaced by a thin silver band around my wrist that pulsed faintly with heat. You're awake. The voice came from the shadows. A tall woman stepped forward, her silver hair tied back sharply, eyes glowing faint blue. She wore a tailored suit that screamed wealth and authority. My name is Headmistress Valen, she said calmly, and welcome to Blackthorn Academy. I frowned. I don't belong here. She smiled, slow, knowing, none of you ever think you do. She explained everything in pieces, like she was afraid too much truth might shatter me. Blackthorn Academy wasn't just a school. It was a fortress hidden from the human world, built for beings of power, wolves, vampires, dragons, and things far older. It trained heirs of supernatural syndicates, mafia dynasties that ruled both the shadow world and human empires. And you, she said, studying me, you're the anomaly. My blood wasn't human. Not fully. They didn't know what I was yet, but they knew I didn't belong anywhere else. By the time she finished, my hands were trembling. I want to go home, I whispered. There is no home for you anymore, she replied gently. Only survival. The freshman ceremony was held that night. Hundreds of students gathered in the grand hall, power crackling the air like a storm waiting to break. Every gaze followed me as I entered, whispers rippling through the crowd. I kept my head down until the room shifted. Silence felt like a blade. He walked through the crowd as if they parted by instinct. Tall, broad-shouldered, dangerous. Golden eyes locked onto mine, glowing with predatory intensity. His presence pressed against me, heavy and commanding like gravity itself. The Alpha. I didn't know his name yet, but every cell in my body reacted to him. He stopped in front of me and seized my wrist, fingers hot against my skin. I gasped as a pulse of energy surged between us, sharp and electric. His face lowered, breath brushing my ear. There's something in you I've never felt before, he murmured. And I wanted. My knees nearly gave out. Before I could respond, another presence cut in, cold and sharp. Well, a smooth voice drawled, "This is interesting." The student council president stepped forward, black hair falling over crimson eyes that gleamed with amusement. His smile revealed the faint edge of sharp teeth as his gaze drifted deliberately to the side of my neck. "So this is the human everyone's whispering about," he said softly. "You smell intoxicating." My pulse raced. Then a third presence pressed against my back. Warm, massive, ancient. Long fingers brushed my shoulder as a man leaned close, slit-pupiled eyes glowing faintly gold. "Haven't we met before?" he asked quietly. Wolf, vampire, dragon, their power closing on me from all sides. I couldn't breathe, and deep down, beneath the fear, a traitorous spark of desire ignited. I had just become the most dangerous thing at Blackthorn Academy. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt them again, their gazes, their scents, the way the air had been around their power. The academy dormitory was luxurious, almost obscene in its comfort, but none of it mattered when my skin still hummed like I'd been struck by lightning. At dawn, a knock sounded at my door. "Open up," a deep voice commanded. I didn't need to ask who it was. When I opened the door, the alpha stood there, dressed in a fitted black uniform that emphasized every lethal inch of him. His golden eyes swept over me slowly, possessively. "You're coming with me," he said. "Do I get a choice?" I asked, trying to sound braver than I felt. His lips curved into a dangerous smile. "No." He led me through the academy halls, students parting as we passed. Whispers followed us like smoke. When we reached a private training chamber, he turned, backing me against the wall with one hand braced beside my head. "Listen carefully," he said. "This academy isn't safe for someone like you. Everyone wants something from you." His fingers brushed my jaw, sending heat straight to my core. "I'm not everyone," he continued. "If you stay close to me, I'll protect you." "And what do you want in return?" I whispered. His gaze darkened. "You." Before I could react, his mouth crashed into mine. The kiss was fierce, claiming, stealing my breath as his power wrapped around me like a brand. I melted despite myself, hands gripping his jacket as the world narrowed to heat and hunger. When he finally pulled back, my lips were swollen, my heart racing. "Think about it," he said softly. "You're already mine." As he left, a slow clap echoed behind me. The vampire leaned against the doorway, crimson eyes glowing. "Well," he said with a smirk, "this just became very fun." And somewhere deep within me, my blood stirred, awake, aware, and ready to choose none of them or all of them. I learned very quickly that nothing at Blackthorn Academy happened quietly. By morning, whispers followed me through the halls like a second shadow. Some students stared openly. Others avoided my gaze entirely, as if looking at me too long might draw attention they didn't want. The word human clung to me like a stain, but now it was paired with something far more dangerous. Kale Riven's interest. I felt it before I saw him. The air shifted, thickened, charged with the unmistakable weight of dominance. Wolves straightened instinctively as he passed. Conversations died mid-sentence. Even vampires, creatures who rarely acknowledged anyone's authority but their own, watched him with careful eyes. Kale Riven did not walk like a student. He moved like a king inspecting territory that already belonged to him. "Orin." My name rolled from his mouth with unsettling familiarity. He stopped in front of me, close enough that I could feel his body heat, the faint scent of pine and smoke clinging to him. "You didn't answer me last night." I folded my arms, tried to hold on to some shred of autonomy. "You did exactly give me time to." His golden eyes narrowed, not angry, but intent. I gave you a choice. You're still breathing because you didn't reject it outright. That wasn't comforting. What exactly does staying close to you mean? I asked, am I your bodyguard? Your pet? Your political accessory? A low sound rumbled in his chest, half warning, half amusement. Careful, I'm serious. So am I, he replied. It means you walk with me. Sit where I tell you. And when someone looks at you like prey, his hand rose, fingers brushing my wrist with deliberate intimacy. They remember who would tear their throat out for touching what's mine. My pulse spiked at the word mine. I don't belong to anyone, I said, even as my blood betrayed me by warming under his touch. Kale leaned down slightly, voice dropping so only I could hear. Then your instincts wouldn't be responding like this. I yanked my hand back, breath unsteady. You don't know anything about me. His gaze sharpened. That's where you're wrong. I know enough to be dangerous. Combat theory was held in a massive amphitheater carved into the Academy's inner stone. Runes pulsed along the walls, suppressing uncontrolled power while amplifying intent. An arena designed to expose weaknesses. Perfect. I slid into a seat near the middle, trying to disappear. It didn't work. Kale sat beside me without asking. 2 rows ahead, the Vampire Student Council president lounged like he owned the place, long legs stretched out, crimson eyes flicking back to meet mine with open interest. Lucian Crow smiled. Not friendly. Hungry. So, he drawled, loud enough for those nearby to hear. The rumors are true. Kale's jaw tightened. Watch your tone. Lucian ignored him completely, gaze locked on me. You don't look like much. Fragile, even. Heat flared in my chest, sharp, reactive. The stone beneath my feet cracked faintly. Lucian's brows rose. Ah, there it is. The professor cleared his throat sharply, power rolling outward in a warning wave. Control yourselves. This is not a battlefield. Lucian smirked. Not yet. From behind me, a calm, steady presence settled like gravity. You'll draw unnecessary attention, a smooth voice said. And attention is expensive. I turned. The dragon heir stood there, tall and composed, dark hair pulled back loosely. His slit-pupiled eyes glowed faintly as they met mine, and something twisted painfully in my chest. Recognition. Fear. Have we met? I asked again, though my blood screamed that it was lying. He studied me for a long moment, then smiled, slow and knowing. Not like this. Kale shifted, subtly placing himself between us. Stay out of this, Ashrin. So that was his name. Ashrin Draven inclined his head politely. That depends on what this becomes. Lucian chuckled. Oh, it's already become something. The bell rang, but the tension didn't fade. It coiled tighter. After class, Kale didn't give me a chance to escape. He led me through a restricted corridor into the North Tower, doors unlocking automatically at his presence. The space was quieter here, older. Power hummed through the walls like a living thing. This is where my faction operates, he said. The Rivens don't answer to the Academy. The Academy tolerates us. What happens if I say no? I asked quietly. He stopped walking, turned. Golden eyes searched my face. Something dangerous and conflicted flickering beneath the surface. Then I'll still protect you, he said slowly. But you'll never stop looking over your shoulder. I swallowed. And if I say yes? Kale stepped closer, close enough that I could feel the truth in his words before he spoke them. Then you survive. His thumb brushed inside of my wrist, right where my pulse raced. And survival, he added, is only the beginning. Deep in the Academy's foundations, ancient wards flared, responding to something newly awakened. And far above us, Unseen powers began to move their pieces, because Blackthorn Academy had just found its catalyst, and I was standing at the center of the storm. The first attempt on my life happened before sunset. I didn't realize it was an attempt at first. At Blackthorn Academy, danger didn't announce itself with alarms or screams. It arrived quietly, polite, patient, inevitable. Kale left me outside the North Tower with a final warning, and no room for argument. "Go straight to your dorm," he said, golden eyes sharp. "No detours." I'm not helpless. I snapped, tired of feeling like fragile glass. His hand caught my chin, firm but controlled, forcing me to look at him. "You are untrained. That makes you vulnerable. There's a difference." The concern in his voice unsettled me more than his dominance. "I'll be watching," he added, then released me and disappeared down the corridor like a shadow given form. I should have listened. Instead, curiosity, or maybe stubborn pride, led me toward the eastern wing. The academy library was there, ancient and rumored to contain records no freshman should ever see. If my blood was different, I wanted answers. The hallway was empty, too empty. The lights flickered as I passed beneath them, runes dimming slightly, like they were struggling to maintain coherence. My skin prickled. That was when the scent hit me. Rotting iron. Old magic. I stopped walking. "You're a long way from your kennel, little anomaly." The voice slithered out of the darkness ahead. A student stepped into view, tall, pale, eyes glowing an unnatural violet. I recognized him vaguely from orientation. Upperclassman, unknown faction, no visible insignia, which was strange. "Move," I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. He laughed softly. "You don't understand what you are yet. That ignorance makes you very valuable." The runes along the walls flared red. My blood reacted. Heat exploded through my veins, sharp and violent. I staggered back as something inside me clawed toward the surface, demanding release. The student's smile widened. "There it is." He lunged. I screamed, and the hallway detonated. Stone cracked. Light burst outward in a shockwave that threw him back like a rag doll. I collapsed to my knees, gasping, ears ringing. The world went silent. Then it howled. Kale hit the corridor like a storm. He didn't shift fully, but his eyes burned gold, claws tearing through his gloves as he grabbed the attacker by the throat and slammed him into the wall hard enough to crater stone. "You touched." Kale growled, voice layered with something feral. "What belongs to me?" The other student tried to speak. Tried. Kale's grip tightened. "Kale," I croaked. "Don't." Too late. The alpha snapped his wrist sharply. Power surge, clean and brutal. The attacker slumped unconscious, or worse. Kale dropped him without a second glance. Then he turned to me. The fury vanished instantly, replaced by raw fear. "Oren!" He knelt in front of me, hands hovering like he was afraid to touch. "Are you hurt?" My vision swam. I didn't mean to. Something just came out of me. His jaw clenched. "I told you not to wander." I needed answers. His hands finally settled on my shoulders, grounding warm. "And you almost died getting them." My body shook now that the adrenaline was fading. Without thinking, I leaned into him, fingers curling into his uniform. Kale froze. Then slowly, carefully, his arms came around me, pulling me against his chest. The contact was electric. His heartbeat was strong beneath my ear. Steady, protective. "You scared me," he said quietly. The admission stole my breath. "I'm not weak," I whispered. "I know," he replied. "That's what terrifies them." News spread fast. By nightfall, everyone knew an unmarked upperclassman had attacked me, and that Kale Ribbon had personally intervened. Factions began moving pieces. Guards doubled. wards reinforced, and eyes followed me everywhere. Lucien found me in the dining hall, lounging across from me without invitation. "You're becoming very expensive to keep alive," he remarked, lightly demonstrated with a slow smile. "Should I be flattered?" I muttered. "Absolutely," he said. "Attempts this early mean your blood is more than rumored." Across the room, Ashton watched silently, gaze unreadable. Kale stood behind me, hand resting on the back of my chair. A claim, a challenge, a promise. And deep inside me, something ancient stirred, not afraid, not submissive, but awakening. That night, as I lay awake in my dorm, the academy's wards pulsed softly around me. They were no longer asking what I was. They were preparing for what I would become. The academy did not let fear linger. At Blackthorn, fear was either sharpened into a weapon or crushed out of you entirely. I learned that the morning after the attack, when 2 armed sentinels stood outside my dorm room door, and a sealed summons burned itself into existence on my desk. Mandatory assessment, blood anomaly location, Obsidian Training Hall attendance. Immediate, my stomach twisted. Kale was already waiting when I stepped into the corridor, dressed in combat gear instead of academy uniform. Black leather, reinforced plates, the riven insignia etched subtly at his collarbone. He looked less like a student and more like a warlord preparing for battle. "You're not going alone," he said. "That wasn't a question," I replied, though relief slipped through my voice anyway. His mouth curved faintly. "You're learning." The Obsidian Training Hall sat beneath the academy, carved deep into enchanted stone. The air down there was heavy, saturated with old magic and violence embedded into the walls. This was where heirs were broken and reforged. Headmistress Valen waited at the center of the chamber, hands clasped behind her back. Around her stood observers, faculty, enforcers, and 3 figures whose presence alone shifted the balance of the room. Lucien Crow leaned casually against the pillar, red eyes bright with interest. Ashton Draven stood near the far wall, arms folded, gaze unreadable. Kale positioned himself behind me, close enough that I could feel him, steady as a shield. "Begin," Valen said simply. The floor lit up with runes. Instantly, pressure slammed into me from all sides. It felt like being dragged underwater. My knees buckled. "Orin," Kale said sharply, "breathe." I tried, but my lungs burned. My blood surged, heat exploding through my veins as something deep inside me reacted violently to the suppression field. Cracks spiderwebbed through the stone beneath my feet. Lucien straightened. "Interesting." Ashrin's eyes narrowed. "That's not standard resistance." "No," Valen murmured. "It's rejection." The word echoed through me. Rejection. My vision blurred, gold and crimson bleeding into each other. Images flashed behind my eyes. Fire, shadows, wings, claws. Something vast and ancient turning its gaze toward me. I screamed. The rune shattered. Power burst outward, slamming into the walls hard enough to throw observers back. Kale caught me before I hit the ground, arms locking around me as his own power flared in response. Golden light wrapping around us both. "Enough," Valen commanded. The hall went still. Silence rang. I collapsed against Kale, shaking violently. What am I?" I whispered. No one answered immediately. Then Lucien spoke, voice unusually serious. "You're not a hybrid." Asher nodded slowly. "And not a dormant bloodline." Valen finally turned to face me fully. Her expression, usually composed, held something like awe. "You are convergence," she said. "A catalyst." Kale stiffened. "Explain." Valen's eyes met mine. "Your blood doesn't belong to one species. It resonates with all of them. Wolves, vampires, Dragons. Even the old houses thought extinct. My heart pounded. That's impossible. Yes, she agreed, which is why everyone will want you. Kale's arms tightened around me possessively. Lucien smiled, sharp and pleased. Well, that complicates things beautifully. Training began that afternoon. Not gentle training. Survival training. Kale oversaw everything personally, ignoring protests from faculty who clearly weren't used to being overridden. He pushed me hard, but never beyond what I could endure. When I stumbled, he steadied me. When my power lashed out, he anchored it. Again, he ordered as I struggled to control the heat racing through my veins. I'm trying. I snapped, sweat dripping down my spine. I know, he said quietly. That's why I'm not stopping. Something about his unwavering presence, made my chest ache. Between drills, I caught Lucien watching us with open calculation. Ashton observed too, quieter, sharper, like he was seeing something beneath the surface no one else could. By nightfall, I was exhausted. Physically, emotionally, dangerously aware of how little control I truly had. Kale walked me back to my dorm in silence. At my door, he stopped. They won't stop now, he said. After today, the academy knows you're not just valuable. You're destabilizing. I looked up at him. Are you afraid? His gaze softened, just a fraction, of losing you. The honesty hit harder than any blow. I don't want to be a weapon, I whispered. Kale lifted my hand, pressing it briefly to his chest, right over his heart. Then learn to wield yourself. The contact sent a pulse through me, warm, grounding, undeniable. As he stepped away, I realized something terrifying and exhilarating all at once. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about power. And whether I would let the academy shape me, or whether I would reshape it instead. Blackthorn Academy didn't sleep. It watched. After the assessment, I felt it everywhere. In the way conversations paused when I entered a room, in the subtle recalculation behind every smile, in the careful distance some students kept while others edged closer, curiosity sharp enough to cut. By breakfast, the academy had already divided itself into sides. I sat at the long obsidian table reserved for dominant factions. Kale at my side like an immovable presence. His arm rested casually along the back of my chair, a silent declaration that no one missed. Across from us, Lucien Crow swirled dark liquid in a crystal goblet that definitely wasn't coffee. His red eyes gleamed as he studied me over the rim. You're adjusting quickly, he said. Most anomalies crumble by now. I don't have the luxury of crumbling, I replied. He laughed softly. Oh, you absolutely do. You're just choosing not to. Ashton Draven joined us moments later, pulling out a chair without asking. The temperature around him spiked faintly, dragon fire barely restrained beneath composed elegance. Your control improved overnight, he observed, gaze fixed on me. Interesting. Kale's fingers flexed against the chair. Say what you want and leave. Ashton didn't look at him. I want to know if the Academy intends to pretend neutrality much longer. Lucien smiled. Neutrality died the moment Orin shattered suppression runes. My stomach tightened. That was when the bell rang, sharp, commanding. Headmistress Valen appeared at the center dais. Her presence silenced in the hall instantly. By authority of Blackthorn, she announced, a convergence council will convene tonight. Attendance is mandatory for all dominant bloodline heirs. Murmurs rippled through the room. Lucien's smile sharpened. Well, that escalated quickly. Kale leaned close to my ear. They're going to test who has the right to stand beside you. I didn't agree to be. I know, he said quietly. That's why it matters. The council chamber was circular, carved with sigils so old they hummed like a living heartbeat. Thrones, actual thrones, lined the walls, each marked with the crest of a syndicate. I felt small walking into that room. Kale didn't. He took his seat without hesitation, pulling me down beside him. Power radiated from him, steady and unyielding. Lucien claimed his throne opposite us, crossing his legs lazily. Ashrin sat to my other side, close enough that I could feel heat radiating through the air. Valen stood at the center. The convergence, she began, is a destabilizing force. Historically, such entities were either bound or destroyed. My breath caught. Kale's aura flared dangerously. You won't touch them. Lucien raised a brow. Careful, Alpha. You don't own them. Silence fell. I stood. Every gaze snapped to me. I'm not a resource, I said, voice shaking but loud. And I'm not a weapon you get to argue over. The runes beneath my feet pulsed. Ashrin watched me with something like approval. Lucien tilted his head. Then what do you propose? I swallowed. I choose who stand with me. The chamber erupted. Valen raised a hand. Then choose. My heart pounded. I looked at Kale, at the fierce loyalty in his eyes, the way he'd shielded me without question. Then at Lucien, dangerous, brilliant, already plotting 10 steps ahead. Then Ashrin, ancient and unreadable, like he knew secrets about me even I didn't. I choose, I said slowly, myself. The runes flared blinding white. Power surged through me, not violent, not uncontrolled, but commanding. The chamber fell silent. Valen exhaled. So be it. Kale stood, placing himself at my side. Then understand this, he said to the room. Anyone who threatens them answers to me. Lucien smiled, unfazed. Good. I prefer games with stakes. Ashrin rose as well, gaze never leaving mine. This is only the beginning. As the council adjourned, I realized something chilling and exhilarating. I hadn't ended the game. I'd just rewritten the rules. And Blackthorn Academy